pretty much everybody was here. And I'm going to make one more adjustment. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. There we go. And we are recording. Mean. Okay. It's going to be that type of day, I think. It is Monday. Median. Mode. Range. Mid-range. Variance. And standard deviation. And of course, I told y'all that most of y'all know how to find the mean and the mean all the way through the mid-range. Most of y'all know how to do that. But we're going to go through it again just to make sure everybody feels good about themselves. And we know that the mean is the sum of all these numbers divided by, is it 13? I believe we said 13, didn't we? It's going to be one of those days.
13.
Okay, median. What is the median? Well, the median on an odd number n is the middle number. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there is our median. And we're going to do an even today if we get to it. Me being dadgum 20 minutes late. All right, mode is what shows up the most. And I think we said it was 18 and 21, which is bimodal. So 18, 21. Range is equal to the highest minus the lowest. Mid-range is equal to, parentheses, the highest plus the lowest. Getting into the variance. And that's what we're fixing to do now, but I'm going to go up here and let's see if this whiteboard's going to work. Please work. And it's not working. I guess I'll have to use the spreadsheet, but I don't know if you're going to see it. Maybe you'll see it. I don't know if you're going to see it or not. The variance is not. Can y'all see me writing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, it's not oriented correctly. So anyway, summation of x minus x bar quantity squared. Now this thing's not working right at all. Damn Russians. For some reason, when I turn on the spreadsheet, the whiteboard app won't work right. So let me hit undo. So we still haven't got it perfect. I wish they'd left that new computer. I wish they just left it alone. I wish they hadn't put it in here. Now I've got to write with my mouse, which is terrible. Divided by n minus 1. Okay, that's a terrible handwriting, but when you write with your mouse, it's not very good. So I've got to take, and we'll work with the parentheses, and I think we went over a little bit of this at the end of class, but that's why I'm going over it to overlap the classes. So that second column is going to be x minus x bar. So that means that I'm going to take every this number minus that number, and I'm gonna hit F4, and those of you that know Excel, you know F4 locks. If you don't know, then don't worry about it. And copy that down, and those are my numbers. Now, as a general rule, I tell people that you want to try to keep your numbers to the 4th digit decimal point. Okay? The reason that is because most answers, usually on the homework and the test, usually, and for some reason, I don't know why, I'm just gonna, yeah, see, this is not right. See, I'm using the eraser, and I've got to use this eraser to get rid of it. That's not the way the whiteboard works. It's not supposed to let Excel. I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to worry about it right now. All right, so x minus x bar, and then we're going to square it. So I'm just going to put everything up here. And so that's going to be x minus x bar, quantity squared. And then I'm going to take this number right here, and I'm going to square it. If I type it in correctly, because right now, today, my typing abilities is like -5. So I'm sorry. I think the Russians might have poisoned me this morning. Put something in my Irish coffee. All right. Now, as I wrote, I tell you what, I'm gonna try something here for a second, y'all. Now let me see, since I pulled up the whiteboard app. Yeah, now it's working. The variance, that's the way it's supposed to work, is equal to the summation of x minus x bar, quantity squared over n minus 1. So I've already done this. I did that. And then I did this. So now, what am I going to do?
N minus 1. You got to divide it by that.
Class, but thank you for being interactive. I appreciate that. What's the only thing left besides n minus 1?
Sum.
You're going to add up all those numbers. So let me turn this back to now it's working. Whatever. I'm not going to try to. Now it's working the way it's supposed to. So let's go with variance is equal to the summation of x minus x bar, quantity squared, over n minus 1. And this part is right here. And this part is right here. That I'm using all this animation and color, aren't you? Y'all feel special. I'm going to add that up, and that's going to be right there. I'm just happy that my whiteboard's working. So here we go.
So why do you have to add the x bar and the x bar squared together to get the sum.
That's the formula. That's what it says. You have to do that. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
I don't understand what your question is.
well, I'm just confused because it's the sum of, I thought it was the sum of x bars or x minus x bar squared, not.
Quantity squared, yeah. So you get
Yeah, but didn't
x
you already
minus
square
x
it?
bar quantity squared and you add it together.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah, you
okay.
got to do, remember, you
I thought you meant adding everything on the left side with everything on the right side of that, not adding all of those sums up.
hold on
Okay.
a second. For some reason, there we go. And I'm going to add all those up. Remember, you work your way inside out. And
Right.
I've done hit that drawing button, and I bet it's not going to work now. But I will try it again. For some reason, when I hit, hold on a second. Yeah, for some reason my formula disappeared, and I really don't know why it disappeared, so I apologize for that. I'll try to write it on the board again if it'll let me. But anyway, that number right down there at the bottom, that is your numerator for your variance. Yeah. For some reason, when I go to the spreadsheet and hit that draw feature, it messes up the whiteboard. So I have to go here. It's not letting me do anything. Try it one more time. There's the formula right there. And you work your way inside out. So you do x minus x bar. You subtract and get those numbers. Then you square them. And then the last thing you do for your numerator is you add that magenta up because you work your way inside out. Now it'll let me write. I've got to take that up with IT. There is something going on there. So variance is equal to the summation of x minus x bar quantity squared over n minus 1. And what we just found, I'll take my handy dandy orange. That number right there is that number right there. So the variance .76923 divided by, and now you can do n minus 1, which is 13 minus 1, which is what? 12, Hubert. So now you can take your calculators and find the variance. I'm going to go over here and see, it's not supposed to do that. Okay, there is something really screwy going on here. And I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and find the variance. So that's equal to that 62 point whatever divided by 12. And that should be what else? Well, standard deviation. And what did I tell you was the relationship between the standard deviation and the variance? And somebody answered it.
The square root of the variance.
The square root. The standard deviation is the square root or raised to the 1/2 power. So go ahead and take your calculator and go to the 1/2 power and okay, is my audio still cutting out, y'all? Somebody put that,
Yeah.
Mr. Stewart. Is it still cutting out?
Yeah, it is. It's like every 3 minutes it cuts out for probably 5 seconds and then it starts back up.
Okay, well, I'll tell IT about that too. Does it do it at my house? When I do it, when I teach from my house?
I don't notice
Not
it
as
at your
far as
house,
I
just
know.
when you're in that room.
Yeah,
No. Yeah, not as bad as if you were in the room.
yeah. Had- and give me a little closer area, because they might, since it happens so frequently, they might can find it better if, you know. All right, so equals, and just put it in the chat, raised to the 0.5 power. Now remember, in your notes, I told you that you could take the square root, you can raise it to the 1/2 power, or you can put it to the 0.5 power. That's what I do. And that is your answer. Now, remember what I said. I told you that the mean, hold on a second. Let's do the median and the mid-range are always, are supposed to do what? They're supposed to be about the same. If you could put it on a stopwatch, Miss Stewart, the time between when I break up and the next time I break up. If you've got
Got
a
it.
stopwatch, yeah, if you could find out about what that time is, that I can tell IT, and they may be able to trace it down to something in the cables or something like that if it's so frequent. If it's very frequent, then they can find it a whole lot easier. All right. Now, can somebody tell me what the standard deviation is in terms of layman terms? What is the standard deviation in layman's terms, non-mathematical terms? Can anybody tell me in one word or two words? Actually, the is the first word. Can anybody tell me? The standard deviation is basically what I mean by the spread is how far the standard deviations are apart. Okay? So if I've got a very high spread or standard deviation compared to these three numbers right here, then I know that my data is pretty much faulty. Okay? Also, watch what happens when I change 25 to a 52. Watch what happens to the mean, median, mid-range, and standard deviation. Somebody tell me what happens when I made 25 into 52. What happened to the mean, median, and mid-range?
They changed.
They got out of wampus. They're not, and for those of you that's not from around here that don't know what out of wampus means, you ever wash towels and the towels get on one side of the washer? That's out of. What happened to the standard deviation? It got what? It's bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
It's got bigger. That means that your data is spread out more because of that one number. Change it to a 22. Watch the mean, median, mid-range, and variance. The mean, median, and mid-range are all around the same number. And what happened? The standard deviation was 7. Now it's done what? It went down. Why? Because the data is tighter. The data is closer together. And I can guarantee you some of y'all went through a whole year of probability and you didn't even know that those three numbers were supposed to be close together. And this number depends on how close these numbers are. Anybody want to volunteer? I bet you went through a if you're just calculating numbers and you're just putting them right here and going to the next problem, that's not going to do you any good when you're in a research setting. And some of y'all, I'm not going to say all of you, but some of y'all will be going to master's and doctorate, and some of you might be even going into research. Some of you, especially if you're going into psychology, in psychology, your last couple of semesters is going to be nothing but research, because you're going to be doing a dissertation or a whatever, a dissertation for your doctorate or thesis for your master's. You're going to be doing that kind of stuff. And 2 classes that you're going to be taking is all about research and what the numbers tell you. So anyway, I'm going to change this back to 25. Now, we've only got a few minutes, before class. I want you to do 14 numbers. So N is going to be 14. So let's go with 10, 12, 14, 15, 15, 15, 16, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Let's see. Or we can make it even number, it doesn't matter what. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 25. Okay, I want you to do everything that you can with those numbers. I'm going to call the IT person. Really? There's a woman down there sitting at the front desk and they got the recorder on. Maybe the Russians abducted her. Let me write an email right quick.
I just sent you some times.
How many?
A ton. It's more frequent than I thought.
Well, I can't see it because I gotta fix the screen. Tell me what it says, if you don't mind, because I can't see it because it's between the 2 TV screens.
941, 942, 943, 944, 946, 947. And I said it was all like 5 seconds long.
The 5 seconds.
It
What's
just did it
the
again. I don't
time
know what you said.
between? I'm sorry, what?
You just cut out again. I don't know what you said.
What, the time between? In other words, you said a while ago it was like 3 minutes.
I thought it was, but it was like every minute.
Okay.
I put down
I
the
don't know
time every
what it
time it
is.
started to glitch.
So it cuts out the whole period, the whole time I'm talking?
It cuts out for like 5 seconds and then it starts back up.
Okay, so 5 seconds and then a minute?
Every minute you cut out for about 5 seconds.
Okay. All right, I'll tell her that. Thank you. Thank you for
Sure.
telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and do all you can. I'm still gonna call her down here. What is her last name? Moore. I asked the lady that works on these computers, I said, am I the only one that has problems with this stuff? And she said, you're the only one that uses this stuff. I said, there ain't no way. She said a lot of teachers don't even use the technology. So I don't know. I thought it had gotten better. I guess it's still the same here at Tri-County. I guess. What about your other teachers? Do they use technology like I do, or do they just give you the assignments and you?
What'd you say?
Nothing. You must have broke up again. Did I break up again?
A little bit.
Okay. Give y'all another minute. I'm gonna go ahead and put all the stuff that we're gonna get right here. Main, median, mode. Sandra, we got a couple of problems. One is they are saying that every minute I'm cutting out. Now, I don't know, was this computer restarted today or do you know?
Probably not restarted.
Okay, so it doesn't restart? I thought it did.
It powers on by itself, but it doesn't restart.
Then that's the RAM, isn't it?
Probably need to restart it.
All right. Okay, the other thing is or I don't use Excel. I can write and it's perfect. See it? It's perfect. Now, when I go to transparency, I ain't never seen it do this before. Long as that dot stays there, see that dot, you know, where your cursor is, everything's fine. But as soon as I use the Excel spreadsheet, now watch it not do it now. I hit the Excel spreadsheet and I draw and I put something in here, the mean is equal to the auto sum divided by, how many numbers did I say we had? 14?
13. Or 14?
14.
Now when I try to go use it, so I don't know, it's never done that before. I don't know what's happening. It's never done that before. And it does that.
Click the mouse.
Right here,
Yeah.
I can't click it. See, it acts like it don't work. But it works. But I just want to show it to you. I can finish my 2 classes today, but I just wanted to show it to you. And my work after I reboot. See, I thought the computer's reboot.
Uh-huh.
I will reboot the system and I'll let you know if it still does it, because that could be part of it hadn't rebooted. This thing probably been on all weekend, hasn't it?
Probably has.
Okay, well, just forget it, because if it hasn't rebooted, then that's probably the reason they're getting a broken up audio. And that's, I don't know, I'll keep playing. Can't believe that I thought all this time that, shut up, people, just shut up. Range, mid-range, I'm about this far right here from saying I'm just going to teach from home. Variance and standard deviation. It's pretty sad when your teacher's home setup is better than the technology. Our name is Tri-County Technical College. That's pretty sad. All right, so anyway, median. Now this is the part I want to show you, and this is the part that people miss on a test. You got 14 numbers. That is even. So I'm going to go down, and I need to count to 6 because you got 14, so 12. 5, 6. So these two numbers are going to make up your median. And make sure you got 6 numbers on the bottom, because you got to subtract those 2 numbers from the middle, and that's 12, so that'd be 6 on top, 6 on the bottom. Now, I got a degree in everything. I know that the average of 16 and 16 is 16, but not always are they going to be the same number. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the formula, same as the midpoint or the mid-range, divided by 2, and that is your median. Now make sure you're aware of that, because if you've never had probability and statistics before, and you put, and those 2 numbers are 16 and 17, and you put 16 because it looks like it's in the middle, that's not going to be right. And you're not going to know why. Everybody, 15 shows up the most. Can y'all hear me?
You can now. You just broke up though.
Well, y'all know why. I guarantee you this computer has not turned off since last week. I thought they'd reboot themselves. Mid-range is equal to the highest plus the lowest divided by 2. I think I know why teachers don't use technology here at Tri-County Tech. Can't get anybody to work on it, or can't keep it going. All right, now for my variance, I'm going to subtract x minus x bar. And that's going to be 10. Did your mean come out to be, did y'all get 17 even? Hello?
What did you
Did y'all
ask?
get 17 even?
Yes.
Wow. I couldn't do that if I tried. Well, I was going to move this over, but it won't let me, so, oh, hold on a second. Yep. I hardly ever do you get a mean that's a whole number. That's very odd. F4. And that's supposed to be a minus symbol. Y'all check my numbers, because the way things are working today, I don't trust anything. X, myself. Some power. And now I'm going to add those numbers up. And equals 216 divided by, let's see, we said this was 14, so it'd be 13. And equals that number raised to the what? 0.5. And there is your standard deviation. And this is what pretty much what 60% of your Unit 1 test is going to be about. Now, there's some more things that I'm going to show you. Of course, the normal curve, the standard deviation on the normal curve. So we got a little bit more to go, but this right here, you need to learn how to do what I'm showing you right now. Now, I'm gonna show you how to do it on your calculator, but I'm not gonna show you right now because all of you would start using the calculator. And I want you to learn how to get these 5 numbers right here because they're very important, 4 numbers, because it's very important that you know how to get those numbers. Okay? Those 4 numbers right there are very important. And I will test you all day long on those 4 numbers. Okay, who's got a question on even or odd? You got you got odd, n is equal to 13, and you got even, n is equal to 14, and that's how you do those 4 numbers. Now, what are we going to add to it? Well, add the 5 number summary and a box plot. And then we're going to add z-scores. So we've got a little bit more to go. Right now, I think I'm covered 3.1 through 3.3. I think that's what I've covered with these 2 problems right here. So most of you should be able to start on 3.1 through 3.3 homework. That's what you should be working on right now, today till Wednesday. Anybody got a question? Everybody feel good about this? Anybody got a question about what we just did?
Nope.
Y'all settle down,
Yes, sir.
please. Y'all are getting too loud. All right, well, unless you have questions, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off because I'm gonna reboot this computer. And I want y'all to have a good day, get this 3.1 through 3.3 working on the home. Homework. So what does that tell me?
I'm not sure.
If I don't get any questions from the class, what does that tell me?
That
got
we
it.
understand it.
That you understand it. So as far as I'm concerned, everybody should be on 3.1 through 3.3 right now. All righty. Unless y'all got questions, y'all can skedaddle, leave however you want to.
Have a
I'm
good
gonna
day.
turn off and reboot.
Have a good
Yeah,
day.
thanks. See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Ms. Stewart, for helping me out with the problems. I'm gonna try to fix that, okay? Hey there. God, you actually read the directions?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. So you told everybody to come down here? Y'all gonna learn to start checking your email. Y'all just have a seat.